Good morning. My name is Heather. We're going to get started with a warm-up, walking out to the plank position. So let's start here. I want you to open up your hands as much as you can. Get up high on the toes. And we're going to take a few saws. So saw forward, take an inhale, exhale, push back, stretch out your calves. Inhale forward, exhale back. Try to get a little further each time. Inhale forward and exhale back. And we'll come back to this. First, I want you to bend your knees and then crawl back into a primitive squat. Just allow your arms to relax in front of you on the floor. Kind of tuck your chin a little bit. And if the first one feels a little stiff, a little crispy, like you can't get your heels to the floor, that's fine. Like we're gonna come back and do this again. So I want you to come back onto the balls of the feet. Like everything has a place. So right here on the balls of the feet, you're kind of stretching the toes out, the tops of the feet and the arches a little bit, and then you crawl back out to plank position. And I want you to push forward again. Or saw, take an inhale, exhale, press back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Let's go one more. Inhale and exhale. Dip your knees. Come back into primitive squat. And again, this is all to get, excuse me, ready to go into the first part of the sequence. And then we're going to work a little bit on some direct spinal stretch and rotation. We'll do this one more time. And then some balance, a few balance moves. Okay, so we're gonna roll forward and back. And one more. And back. Dip the knees and we crawl back one more time. Okay, and then here, safely have a seat. You should be pretty close to the floor, but use your hands if you need to. Then we're gonna go into a C curve. Spine. Sorry, I don't know what voice is doing that right now. I just took a drink. Hold on to the knees. Make sure the feet are about hip width apart, and I want you to start tucking your tailbone under the hips. And then allowing for your arms to fully extend so you get that really nice stretch at the top of the back. Tuck your chin and take 3 big breaths in this position. So inhale and inhale. And one more, inhale, and okay. And then I want you to release the arms, and then kind of pull yourself forward, and then we feel that stretch through the low back. Okay. Again, we're just connecting the pieces. I want you to bring your toes to the floor. Okay, hold yourself in a strong ball. This is where I want you to really focus on the elbows tucked in towards your body, biceps are tight. Okay, and then just roll your toes forward, and then flex your feet, and then roll the toes forward, flex your feet, and then one more. Okay, so I'm going to grab a drink and then go into the 100. Come back to the C curve. Slowly roll back, place your spine on the floor, and start with your low back on the floor. So pelvis is tucked back. Bring your legs to table position to start. Toes are pointed. Round the head and shoulders up. Reach your fingertips to your heels. And then you can extend the legs away from your body as you like. I always like to start in this position just to make sure everything's connected. Let's start with the pumps in and out, in and out, in, 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 In, out, in, out, in, out. Place the heels on the floor, reach your arms overhead. Connect the backs of the hands to the floor. Okay, allow your spine to arch just a little bit, your back to arch, just for a little stretch first. Bring those toes toward your shin. Okay, and then now pull the low back into the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Allow it to be really slow the first time. Find your position, reaching over your toes. I want you to just reach, tuck your chin, take a deep breath in this position, and deep breath out. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly place your spine back on the floor, bring your arms overhead. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale. Good. Inhale, and exhale back. And rotate the shoulders so that your arms are on the floor, and then we'll go into roll over. Scoot out just a little bit. So bring your legs together. I'm going to do another quick hip and back stretch in this position. First, you want to anchor your arms down through your palms into the floor. Hold on. I give it time to be doing this. It happens. It's very cold here. It's -4 here. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but the air is brutal right now. Okay, keep the inner thighs squeezed together. Let's arch the feet, point the toes. Okay, and then your back has that natural arch. We're putting our arms back into the floor. I want you to take a deep breath in and kind of further arch your back so you get a kind of thoracic stretch, a mid to low back stretch. And then on the exhale, pull that low back to the floor. You'll feel some more like deep ab connection. And then inhale forward and exhale. And inhale forward and exhale. And I want it to feel kind of dramatic like that because, again, the stretch is really nice, but we don't want to be operating in the position where our hips are arched forward like this. So that's kind of to call attention to that and at the same time get your stretch. So then we operate from keeping the low back to the floor. Belly button is drawn in, toes are pointed, and then we inhale and exhale. And widen your stance. Again, keep the low back to the floor. Inhale and exhale. In. I'm just going for the 10 this way today. And keep shoulders to the floor. Place your spine on the floor. Keep the glutes tight when you lower. Almost there. One more. Okay, and then right from here, widen your stance a little bit. Bring that left leg right under the hip. Flex the foot now. Leave your hips even to the floor. Let's bring the right leg up toward your hip as high as you can while keeping it locked out. Okay, so this is a wonderful opportunity to open up the hips and really gauge your range of motion going both directions. Okay, but all while keeping strength in the extended leg. Okay, so we inhale and in. Keep the shoulders flat to the floor. opposite. Place that foot on the floor, heel on the floor, foot flexed. Let's bring the left leg up. Treat it like it's a different leg. Okay, make sure everything is even. Your stable leg is anchored to the floor. Then we inhale and make sure I don't hit my coffee cup. Just scoot it out of the way. Start over and more. Opposite. And okay, place that foot on the floor. Bring your upper body up. Hold on to those knees, tuck your chin, and let's get some rolling. Keep your breathing even. Keep your chin tucked. You can do this 5 to 6 times or more if it feels good. Because it does. One more. Don't even know what the count was on that one. We're going to bring our spine back to the floor. Okay. After this one, we'll do the single leg and double leg stretch. And then we'll get into the spinal moves and the balance moves. So we're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Let's hold firmly, hand on the knee, hand on the shin. Elbows tucked in to actively engage the biceps. Okay. So again, everything has a place. Bring that the elbows in, round the head and shoulders up. Okay. Extend that left leg. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Deep breath in, exhale. Deep breath in, and exhale. Pick it up, inhale, and in, 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 in. Quick rest. Okay, should be feeling it here in the low abs. Glutes stay tight, especially going into the double leg. Now I like to add a little bit to this sometimes, where I like to hold in the kind of hollow body position, either on the first, like before we go into the reps, or at the end. Today we're going to hold it on the first, and as soon as I'm done with the count of 10, we'll go right into the full reps for 12. So let's round the head and shoulders up, back to that strong ball we were in earlier. Okay, hold tight, keep the limbs close to each other. Okay, inhale, breathe, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and in, 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 and rest. Good. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, roll up. And then now we're going to get into the saw, or the spine stretch. We'll do saw in a bit. Take a quick drink if you like. Seems like my voice sorted itself out, thankfully. Okay, let's get our feet mat width apart. If you don't have a mat, bring them just a little wider than your hips, not much wider than that. And back to curling the toes if you like. Again, it's really cold here, so everything feels kind of a little extra when it's cold, but really make sure you're flexing your feet, you're engaging the lower half so that the knees aren't popping up. And if you're in a place where they are popping up, okay, just be extra mindful about not reaching too far and putting strain on the knees. I feel like I have to point that out every time because that's not the the point of this move. It's for opening up the spine. Okay, so from here, okay, legs are locked, draw the belly button in, fingertips down the middle. Let's walk it out nice and easy on the first one. Okay, tuck your chin. Take 3 breaths in this position. Be reaching forward over your toes. Use the floor or mat for some grip. But try to get a stronger reach each time. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And then sit up. Okay, now that our hips are warm, we're going to go into the open leg rocker. So now arch your feet opposite way, point the toes toward each other, kind of V your heels away from each other, okay? And open up the chest, back is nice and tall. And then we want to find our balanced position. Okay, legs are locked out, and you can kind of play with where you put your hands on, because you don't want to be reaching and rolling your back to reach. Okay, you want to be able to roll your back with a confident hold. Okay, keep the legs locked. One more. A little extra stretch, tuck your chin, bring the legs in and back out, and then back to center. Okay, so again, going with what I said earlier, the spinal moves. So then now we'll go into the saw. Legs are the same way they were for the spine stretch, so keep your knees locked, okay, quads are engaged. Okay, feet are flexed. Draw the belly button in, and this is a rotation. Okay, so we're going to go a little slow on the first one. Okay, bring the arms up and out. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, turn. Find that spot, okay, where you can really draw the upper body forward. The back palm is up. Your eyes are looking back there, and just hold here for 3 breaths. And you're pushing firmly into the side of your leg so you can feel the stretch through the back of the shoulder. And again, it's all about that mid-back rotation. And then inhale and in. Okay, back to center. Do the same thing, opposite side. Inhale and exhale. Find that position. Reach up, push firmly into the leg. Let the leg resist, or foot, wherever your hand is. Breathe. Now reps, inhale and exhale. In and in. Back to center, normal cadence. Inhale, and we go. Inhale and inhale. Inhale and good. Back to center. Okay, and now we'll do the first or second balance move. We'll do the seal. So I like to get toward the front of the mat so you have room behind you. But we thread the arms, okay, or like between the legs. Kind of hold on, not too firmly, but you want to be able to bend your biceps, bend your arms a little bit, bend your elbows. Okay, feet are together. Soles of the feet are touching each other. And then we clap, and then tuck the chin, roll back. 1, 2, forward. One, two, and rest. Okay, so the balance moves, just like the open leg rocker, their balance first. So adding the rolling or the rocking part comes well after just being able to balance in that position. And then the last of the spine moves for now is the twist. And we will go slow and do a hold on the first one as well, again, just to get warm. So even if this is not the first thing you're doing today or ever, you know, it's always good to just slow is smooth is fast, okay? You bring the arms up and out. Lower body is doing the same thing it did for the other moves. Belly button drawn in, glutes are tight. Inhale, turn, twist, rotate, hold, breathe. And then back to center. Take a deep breath in and out. And then we'll inhale, go the opposite direction. Breathe in this position. Try not to bounce. You can kind of push yourself back, but don't bounce in the move. Good. Breathe out. Okay. Now normal cadence. We go in and inhale. In. And in. Rest. Good. Okay, then we'll go into the crab. We just did the seal. So crab, we're going to start on the crown of our head. Okay, so this part, again, if you're used to the move, and you feel good about the whole move, do it. If you're only feeling one part of it, you know, maybe it's the crown massage. So crown of your head, massage for a moment. Shoulders are relaxed down around your chest. Toes are pointed. You have a nice, loose, but steady grip on your feet. And then inhale and exhale, we roll back. Cross the ankles, forward, and cross the ankles. One more. And rest. Another move I feel like I could do all day. I'm gonna take one more drink and then we will end with a boomerang. Boomerang kind of has a little bit of everything, if you ask me. I'm gonna start up here so I have a little bit of space behind me. So let's cross the ankles, feet are arched, toes pointed. Okay, inner thighs squeeze together so the legs move as one. Let's start with a strong forward stretch. And then inhale, slide hand beside you. Exhale, pull back, cross the ankles, and then balance and forward. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing these this pace. Just because, again, there's a lot going on. You get that spinal massage going back, push your triceps up, you get that balance. Of course, that nice fold at the end. And this is for 6. It's time to go all the way. I'm going to keep both feet pointed, toes pointed. Two more. And rest. Okay, that'll be it for today. Look forward to seeing you next week. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you soon.